Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Veronica. So today I'm just going to be sharing my experience doing the 21 days prayer and fasting, and I did that last year. And to start with, what I'm going to be sharing is just my personal experience and what led me to do it. So anything that I'm going to be sharing has nothing to do with the findings of a doctor or anything like that. It's just my personal experience, and disclaimer, I am not a doctor whatsoever. So consult with your doctor before you engage in it. Consult with your doctor, right? So yeah, so that was last year, end of March when I started it. I think it was on the 28th and I broke it in April. So why I wanted to do it was because I felt led to do it. I don't know, I just started having this thing where I was like, I need to do it, I need to do it, I need to do it. Now, I didn't hear any voice from God telling me that I needed to do it, but I just felt that I needed to do it. So there is that, right? So one of the major concerns I had was my weight, because I am a very tiny person. I am very petite. I weigh about 104 pounds. Oh, yeah, 104 pounds, 105, around that area, around that range, right? So I knew that if I were to do this, I was gonna lose a lot of weight, and I wasn't sure if my body fat was enough to sustain me, right, for a longer period of time before the body starts feeding on the muscles. So there's that. But what encouraged me a lot was, one, I started to do my own research. That was reading articles from what medical doctors had compiled together. So lots of Google search, lots of that. And on YouTube, I was watching videos of people who had done the 21-day water only. So those are the videos I was watching, or those who did the 40-day water fasting and prayers. Just those are the videos I was watching, right? So that just to have, that boost, to have that encouragement. And so I was feeding on that, like, for the longest time, preparing my mind, right? So the goal for me doing that was preparing my mind to know that if they did it, I could do it too. And I was also starting to look for videos for those people who looked kind of petite, those who had done it but they looked kind of petite, so I could just get motivation that if someone who's smaller can do it, then I can do it too. And I found tons of videos, though they're not a lot of people, but I did find tons of videos, and I was feeding on that, and testimonies of people who had done it and what they had like gotten out of that, the benefits that they had gotten out of that. So for me, I was doing it for spiritual reasons, even though it has like physical reasons as well, but I was doing it for spiritual reasons. So number one, I did lots of research. That's what I was doing every day, researching and watching testimonies of people, just to prepare my mind for the things that I would experience throughout the fast. So for me, it was 21 days straight without breaking anything, just taking water. And the only thing that I added to my water were 0-calorie electrolytes. I added those because after doing so much research, people were like, you need to add some Himalayan pink salt to it and stuff like that, so you are able to retain so much, so that you're able to retain water, right? So there was that. And the other alternative was electrolytes, so you can have your calcium in there and the other minerals that are needed. So that's why I was adding the electrolytes to it. So, and those were 0-calorie electrolytes that I was adding to them. But at some point I stopped because I just didn't like the taste of it. So there's that. So the things that I experienced during the 21 day of fasting, drinking water only. So the first 4 days were okay for me. I was a little bit scared because in the past, during the pandemic in 2020, when I would do the 3 days water fast, those were so hard for me. I wouldn't be able to retain the water. I would like throw up. But when I did like the 3-day dry fast, those were easier for me. I don't know why. The 3 days water fast were hard, but the 3 days dry fast were easy for me. So I was a little bit worried, but the first 4 days were very easy on me, very good. Nothing happened. But when we reached to the 5th day, I think I threw up in the morning on the 5th day. I threw up, and from the 5th day to up about the 9th day, I had so much nausea. I was so nauseated. That's one of the symptoms that I had, because through doing my research, people would say they had headaches, dizziness, muscle cramps, and a lot of other symptoms. I never experienced that, honestly. I was shocked as well that I never experienced any headache, any dizziness, anything of that sort. My only thing was nausea. I was so nauseous from the 5th day up until the 9th day, to the point that I would throw up, especially in the morning. And I really hated that. I would throw up in the morning. That's when I would regret my choice. I'm like, is this worth it? But after that, everything was okay. And I remember I would like sleep whilst sitting, just so I don't have to throw up. And the only thing I remember about, I think the 8th day or 9th day, I had prayed to God. I'm like, take this nausea away from me. I cannot take it anymore. Take this nausea away from me. And the following day, surprisingly, I woke up without the nausea, and I was able to lay down as usual. Like I usually lay down at night to sleep. So I was able to do that just normally and just carry on throughout the fast. So that was interesting and intriguing for me. And then another thing that I noticed, some sleep. I used to sleep a lot. So the whole time I was at home, there were periods that I had gone out, but most of the times I was just at home. I would wake up, pray a little bit, maybe watch something, and more so it was just, watch something, be up for a little while and sleep. That was my cycle, and sleep. So at night time, usually it was like 3 hours. 3 hours was like good amount of sleep. Like I felt well rested, honestly. I felt well rested, like I was sleeping like a baby. I don't know, I just felt that, like well rested. 3 hours felt like that was more than enough sleep, honestly. So I would sleep for like 3 hours, wake up maybe for another hour, 2 hours, and then again back to sleep for maybe 2 hours, and then wake up again, and then it's morning time, right? So there was that. Another thing that shocked me, so you won't be hungry. You have the desire for food, but you are just not hungry. You have the strong desire, the intensity for food. That's when I was like, okay, I really love food. It dawned on me, because most of the times I feel like, I don't know, I'm not a foodie person like that. But this time during the fast, it actually dawned on me. I'm like, yeah, I love food actually. So there's that. You just have the desire for food, but you're not really hungry. There are no hunger pains, so to say. Maybe with the 40 days, probably, but with the 21 days, no. So you just have to continue drinking water. So there's that. And then every day, so you have to make sure you're drinking your water. So my minimum intake of water was like 2 liters. That was my minimum. But my goal was always like 3 liters, but I'm not drinking it at the same time. I'm like really spacing it out, drinking throughout the day. And one thing that I noticed, if I drank some water like during the night time, when I wake up in the morning, or when I wake up and I rush to drink water, then I would throw up. So when it was night time, I would stop drinking water until when I wake up, and then again resume drinking water so that I don't throw up. So there was that. Which other thing? There was a day, I think it was on the 12th day or so, I attempted to go out and do some shopping. I gathered some things in the cart. I was so weak that day, I couldn't continue shopping, so I just let the cart be. Went back to my car, and I remember I couldn't drive. I had to really rest in my car before I drove back home. So there was that. So it gave me major concerns, because there was a crusade that was coming up in town, a Benny Hinn crusade, and I really wanted to go for that one. So I told one of my friends that I wanted to go for it. So the day that the crusade was on, I remember really thinking to myself, I'm like, should I go, should I not? Because I was really feeling weak. But I decided that I was gonna go. And I knew we would be standing in the line before we were admitted in the building for a while. And it so happened we were standing there for a while. But that day, supernaturally, we were outside waiting for almost like an hour until we were admitted in the building where the crusade was going to take place. And then from there, I remember the whole time I was just worshiping. I was still standing, worshiping until almost the end of it when I sat down. I was sort of like surprised because I had the energy for it, right? So there was that. And then later along, there were other days, I think two more days that were spaced out. I had gone out and done some shopping. So I really thought that I would be so weak the entire time. But some days, only I think maybe 3 days or so where I felt a little bit on the weak side. The other days I still had energy for that. So that was a shocker, considering I'm a small person in size. I was really shocked by that. But yeah, I had the energy. Another day I went out with my friend and her husband to do some shopping. I was worried. I'm like, oh, it's gonna take forever. And we did take forever, like over an hour, just looking around for some groceries and stuff like that. And I managed that fine without they didn't suspect anything. They didn't know I was fasting. So I was really happy about that. Yeah, and I had a day again that I had gone out shopping and everything was good. So in the morning when I would get up, because of so much research, people were like, get up slowly, don't just get up and start walking because you might feel dizzy and all of that. I didn't experience that. Or people would say after showers they would feel dizzy because of the hot water. I didn't experience that. Beforehand, actually, I bought a small chair for the bathroom because I was like, maybe I was gonna be so weak, I didn't know how I would take showers, but I never even ended up using it. I would take like very quick showers, I think under 5 minutes, and I'm out of there. So one of the things that really shocked me, because I thought it was not possible, but every day I would wake up, honestly, it was a shocker for me. I think that was the highlight for everything. I was like, every day I wake up, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, I'm still alive. And I remember one of my friends that I had told about this thing, she was worried at first. Her husband was worried as well. They were like, just tell her she shouldn't do this thing. She shouldn't do it. She might die. But I was so stubborn about it. I'm like, I'm gonna do it. So she would check up on me all the time. And she was also very, it was an intriguing thing, even for her. And it brought so much, faith as well for her. She would check up on me and was always surprised, like, you're doing well, you sound well, you seem like you have a lot of energy. And I remember she came to visit me one day. I had lost a lot of weight. But other than that, everything else was okay. The nausea had stopped after my prayer, I think around day 9. And then I went for 11 days too without pooping, without doing number 2. It was just passing water because every bad thing is out of the system, right? It's sort of like the system has been shut down. It's under a reboot. So there was that. So it was just pee all the time. So there is that. What else did I experience? Oh, my sleep. Because I used to be, for the longest time, used to have like nightmares, bad dreams. But during this time, I just slept. I can only recall, I think, 2 days where I had like dreams. But other than that, it was just smooth sailing. Just sleeping, no nightmares, no nothing. I felt like I was sleeping like a baby. And one thing that I learned through the process is that just the 21 days water fasting, it produces so much power, right? The enemy cannot touch you during that period. At least that was my experience. After the fast, yeah, the enemy came in. But during the fast, for some reason, no. I don't know why, but for some reason, no. So there was that. And then another thing also, I think the most important component, if you're drinking your water, you should be good. If you're drinking enough water, you should be good. The other thing was breaking the fast. I think that's the point where it can be dangerous. I think it's not even the fasting itself, the journey, but breaking the fast. At least that's what I think for me. Don't take my word for it. These are just my personal experiences. Breaking the fast. So I feel like I didn't break the fast well as I would have loved to, because after my fast ended, there were some stressful things that happened that just led me to start eating not the way that, it's prescribed. I felt like I rushed into eating certain foods before the time. The first 2 days I was on watermelon. I think day 3 and 4 I was on fruits and vegetables. But I don't know, somewhere I think I didn't eat some of the right foods. I had introduced certain foods that I was not supposed to eat. So I ended up swirling up for a good 2 days. I looked in the mirror, I'm like, okay, yeah, I swelled up. But after a good 2 days of that, everything came back and was normal. So there's that. So my concern, I would urge everybody to just break your fast well. Don't rush into anything, because you might end up just harming yourself. So we don't want that, right? Just follow the proper protocol and guidelines. You'll find all these things when you're doing your research. You'll find all these things online. So yeah, that was a major concern for me, actually, was when I was breaking the fast. I didn't do it the proper way. So if that's what led to me swelling up. Other than that, the entire journey, I would say I would do it again. And I'm hoping to do it again. And I'm just putting out this video to serve as an encouragement for myself as well in the future. If I want to do it, I'll just come back to this video, watch it, and yeah, see how it goes from there. So that was my experience. And I'm thankful for God. I'm like, I survived that. I don't know how. It really just opened me up to the wonders of the human body, what the human body can do when you yourself don't put the limitations on it. So yeah, I hope this video will serve as an encouragement to any Christian who might want to step out in faith and do it. But again, remember, just a disclaimer, I am not a doctor. Everything that I shared is my personal experience, and I know that if you watch other videos, other people too will share something different, what they experienced. So yeah, so there's that. That's that. I hope you are encouraged, and if you step out in faith to do it, just continue praying that the Lord would sustain you, From me, Veronica, it's bye.